king, I am not a god, I am Hump.
What's good, YouTube? It's time to revive a forgotten weapon, Kuva Bramma, for level 9999 Steel Path enemies in Warframe. Let's go! Hey, welcome back, Tano. As always, before I build the weapon or Warframe, I rely on my method called D.V.S, and it's very successful if you try it. D stands for damage, how will be dealing damage. V stands for how will be dealing 10 stacks of viral, so enemies are vulnerable to 325% more damage to their HP. S stands for stripping enemies armor, leads to lowering their damage reduction to deal more damage. First thing you need to learn about Kuva Bramma, that it has a unique trait, alternate fire, which is the heavy attack for melee weapons, the button in the mouse wheel to activating current weapons. Alternate fire manually detonates explosive arrow in mid-air. The progenitor I will be using today is electricity. I wanted to move away a bit from the normal toxin and heat progenitor, so I decided to go for electricity. But it doesn't matter what your Kuva Bramma progenitor is, you can apply this build to it. And now for the build, starting with the galvanized chamber. 80% multi-shot on kill, 30% multi-shot for 20 seconds, stacks up to 5 times. Everybody knows how important multi-shot is, as multi-shot, the number of damage instances fired per shot without consuming additional ammo, and we know the nerf of ammo in these weapons hurted them really badly, as they was a meta powerful weapons they just destroyed by the ammo rework. Each damage instances has its own chance to apply critical hits or statue effect. Mamma mia. Serration for 165% additive damage. Hunter munition for 30% chance to apply slash on critical. Critical delay for critical chance and minus fire rate, 2 times for both. But don't worry, we will fix it with the Warframe Arcane. Primed Bane of Orichin is a multiplicative damage mode against specific faction. Bane of Orichin is the corrupted. You wanna switch, it depends on the faction you're fighting. Corpus, Grenier, and Facet, and so on. Vital stands for critical damage. Primed Crew rounds, the primed version of cold, but if you don't have it, you can use the 60-60 cold, and you can replace it with whatever you want. Depends on the enemies you're fighting. For those elements, all you have to do is hover right here and check the element the enemies are taking as multiplicative damage, or as they are taking as a negative multiplicative damage. Now magnetic got reworked as well, as the magnetic increase shield damage by 325%, and you will need it in the Bramma, as the viral and the corrosive will be from a different source. With multiple stacks, and disables the target shield regeneration for a short duration when shield or overguard breaks. And now we all know how many Exilus enemies out there, Eximus units out there, and how many Thraxes and enemies with shields you fight in Corpus, so it comes in handy. Alright, and deals electricity damage for 3% of enemies max shield or overguard per stack of a forced electricity statue effect. Makes it really good, and the weapon has blast or radial attack. Blast get blasty, it got reworked as well. Blast deals 30% of base damage after 1.5 seconds as an explosion at 10 stacks, or on death, stacks deal their damage simultaneously to enemies within 5 meters while staggering them. Makes them both works together as long as you can bring something like viral and corrosive or armor stripping and viral from different sources. Now, This weapon is really powerful and I highly recommend it. But the ammo problem, you need to have Exilus slot for ammo. You can use Primate Sniper ammo right here, or you can use the Vigilante supplies until you get the Primate Sniper ammo. Primary Deadhead on precision headshot kill, 130% damage for 24 seconds, stacks up to 3 times, that's 360%, and this weapon needs as much damage possible out there. 30% headshot multiplier, as you know, the radial attack can hit the head, so even if you miss by an inch or two, still you will get the headshot multiplier, and minus 50% weapon recoil. Now, if you don't like my method on proccing viral and armor stripping enemies, you can shake this sheet right here. It will help you maneuver around that. Now, I'll be using the Tempest Barrage. So, Tempest Barrage itself can armor strip and proc viral for me, while I'll be just killing them and so on. Now, Tempest Barrage is a Hydroid subsumable ability. It will proc corrosive with 2 stacks of Archon shards. The Emerald will reach 14 stacks of corrosive instead of 10. Instead of 80, it will be 100%. As I said, we don't care about armor, we care about enemies damage reduction. If you hover to your armor right here, you can see it. You have 135 armor, but you have reduced damage to health by 31%. That means you have DR of 31%. The other Archon shards, it doesn't matter, alright? They're just for melee weapons. Now, to proc viral with the Tempest Barrage, you will need the Viral Tempest. So, yeah. But you can use United to armor strip, Companion to proc viral, you can use, for example, Tharos Strike, Pillage, Terrify to armor strip, and then you can proc viral from your Companion, or you can proc viral from Nourish and armor strip with United. You can move around that, my friend, don't worry about it. Rifle amp in here, but you can use the Hoster amp if you really want to. It's synergized really good with Vigorous Swap, okay? Now you got Arcane Rage on headshot, 50% chance for 180% damage to primary weapons for 24 seconds. Arcane Acceleration on critical hit, 30% chance for 90% fire rate to primary weapon to fix the critical delay, and we get that 200% critical chance. Now when it comes to Companion, my favorite will be of course Nautilus. Now why Nautilus? Now we're doing AoE damage, yes. But imagine all enemies gets in, all together compacted, getting viral, corrosive, armor strip, and getting magnetic with electricity proc at death, and getting blasty, and enemies 10 stacks or their die blast, get blasty to nearby enemies with 5 meters because it's not so big. And then our Nautilus Prime will use the duplex to prime them with viral as well to help out, vacuum to pull the loot, manifold for more cordon, reinforce bond for fire rate, and tenacious bond for critical damage. And the very last Prime here is modded for viral and heat. Now we all know the heat stack indefinitely, like it's really powerful, but don't worry about the Riven. If you don't have it, it's okay, you can use the Volclog for the 50% critical chance. Don't worry at all. Alright, that's pretty much it, and now let's go for testing. Now before I apply full D.V.S, I will just go like so. I will activate Mesmer Skin so I don't get knocked back, and check this out. Now if I kill them fast enough, I will have that ammo. 3, 2, and 1. There you go, I got my ammo back. So you take it slow, right? Or otherwise you use the helmet ability for ammo. Now let's apply full D.V.S, armor stripping them and proccing viral, and you'll start seeing the difference and the importance of D.V.S. Look at this. Boom, and they're pretty much dead. One more time. Look at this. And you can use, for example, carrier for ammo, and you can use something else to pull enemies in, like larva, pool, whatever you desire. And of course, I use Revenant so I don't boost the weapon in any way. You can use any Warframe you want. You can use Siren for Spores and Toxic Clash, you get the Toxin and the Corrosive. You can use Zata Whisper, you can use Roar, you can use Eclipse, you can use anything you want. With this build, you'll be thriving. Now let's talk about changes and things you maybe have or want to do. Now, instead of primed crew rounds, of course, you can equip the Wildfire if you have heat and you get the radiation, and it's really good against the sentience and the armor. Of course, you're gonna equip the Hellfire right about there. Now, if you want to equip Toxin in here, right about here, alright, you will get Corrosive and Blast, and the weapon's still really good. As you can see, the damage changes in here, okay? And you keep moving around that. I don't care what's the progenitor of your Kuva Bramma, and hopefully it's 60%, mine is just 33%, but it really doesn't matter. What matters, keep in mind, whatever element you have, what matters is D.V.S. You be dealing damage, stripping and proccing viral on them 10 stacks, and you are like good to go. Now, when it comes to rivens, let's talk about rivens. Now, if your riven has a multiplicative damage against faction, Primal Bane of Hurricane is the one you want to replace. If your riven have CC/CD damage, negative zoom, Surration is what you want to replace. That's pretty much it. If it has an element, Primal Crew Rounder is the candidate for that. Now, if you insist and it has an element, you want to keep everything, but Vigilante Armaments is what you want to replace, go ahead. Or Hunter Munition is what you want to replace, go ahead as well. There is nothing wrong about testing and throwing things around. Don't worry about it at all. The reason I don't use rivens in my builds is just to make sure that you don't need the riven for it, because it doesn't make sense. You just come here to get a build and you see the build is with a riven, and now you have to go swipe, sell, use your platinum to make this build work. So if a weapon doesn't kill without a riven, I don't think it will be amazing with a riven. Ladies and gentlemen, by this we reached the end of our video. I highly recommend the Kuva Bramma. Let's say 7.5 out of 10, just because the ammo. If DE looks back and see that the Incarnate weapons are thriving now and a lot of them AoE, it didn't make sense. And it's not fair for the other AoE weapons like Kuva Bramma and the Kovazar and so on to be nerfed and collecting dust in the arsenal. So I want to say special thanks to special VIPs Rekaka, Illusion, Orfreer, and Irish, the Undisputed, the Free Hate, and the whole of the nations Free Hate, Kali, Rek, Orfreer, Victor, Mr. V, Mika, Awes, Milan, Illinois, and Noob Master, and everyone ever supported this channel by liking, subbing, commenting. Big love to you all. Don't forget to join our Discord link in the description and let me know what you want to see next. Big love to you all.